Welcome. In this video, we are going to discuss a secret that will change how you see your entire life. We will talk about why your name is still being whispered by the people who lost you, how your quiet healing is driving them completely crazy, and how you became a powerful living legend to the exact people who tried to break you. Trust me, you do not want to miss a single second of this. Look. So you finally lifted your eyes to see, right? You finally felt it deep down, didn't you? That weird chill running right down your back when you step into places that suddenly go totally silent. That heavy, painful feeling pushing on your heart when your screen glows with texts from people who have ignored you for years and years. That funny feeling on your skin warning you that something huge has changed in the air all around your daily life. Well, let me share a secret that will completely shatter every single thought you ever had about your spot in this big world. Your name. Yes, your name. The very one you quietly say in the dark mirror when you are trying to feel brave. The one that feels so plain and boring to you. That exact name is right now being said out loud in places you will never step foot in, by people whose faces you will never ever look at, in situations so crazy and so completely different that if you heard them all together, your mind would break down just trying to understand it. And I am not just talking about quick, tiny chats. I am not talking about, oh sure, I recall them from that one time. No, I am saying your name is the main star in big stories you had no clue you were even in. I am saying your name is the magic answer to things people are begging to know right now. I am saying your name is the guide, the red flag, the spark, the crazy focus, the big win, the deep lesson, the scary story, the huge success, and the top rule, all at the exact same time. Do you want real proof? Let me draw a picture, so clear and so real you will feel it in your bones. Right now as you watch this screen, somewhere in a doctor's room in a town you have never been to, a doctor is writing things down while their crying patient talks about you. Maybe they do not say your exact name, but they talk about your heart, your vibe, your deep mark on them. They say, there was this person who, and the doctor leans in close, because what they hear is deep, deep pain, intense blame, and a wild, unhealthy focus hidden in fake words about moving on. Your name might not be shouted, but you are a ghost in that quiet room, living freely inside someone else's biggest crying moment. And in a big boss room somewhere, tall glass windows touch the clouds and fancy chairs cost more than a car. Top bosses are talking about you. Maybe not with your name, maybe they just call you that huge thing they learned from, or they say, remember when we faced that really hard time, but do not get it wrong. You are the secret file. You are the hard lesson they took deep value from. You are the pure pain they turned into a plan. They watched you closely, boxed you up, and learned from the way you walked away, the way you spoke back, the way you did not cry when they truly wanted you to fall apart into a million tiny little pieces. You became their facts. You became the bright guide they used to teach new bosses how to deal with truly hard times or very strong people. They do not hate you in those cold rooms. They look up to you, which is honestly way more scary, because looking up to you means they watched you long enough to see they could not crush you the way they easily crushed everyone else. You were simply different. You were the puzzle they just could not solve the right way. You were the wild spark that ruined their whole game plan. And now you are stuck deep in their history, locked in their big work papers, brought up in their big meetings, and spoken about softly over hot drinks when someone asks, hey, whatever happened with? And the whole room goes dead quiet because they all know, but nobody dares to speak it. They stay quiet because saying your name hands you pure power. Saying your name proves that you won a huge fight, and they are still crying, trying to figure out how they failed so bad. But hold on, there is way more. Because while cold bosses are watching you and smart doctors are digging into you, there is another place, a much quieter place, a room where a broken person is on the floor, hands held tight, eyes shut hard, crying out to something way bigger than you both. And they are praying about you, not wishing you bad luck like you might guess, not yelling at the sky to hurt you in some angry, dark way. No, they are praying for you. They are begging for your calm heart. They are begging for your big wins. They are begging for your deep wounds to heal. They are begging for mercy for the bad things they did to you, the mean words they said, the deep pain they caused. They are praying because you leaving left a hole so dark and deep that the quiet hurts their ears. They are praying because they finally see the gold they threw away, but it is way too late to get it back. They are praying because every fake person they used to try and replace you felt like cheap, flat paper compared to the bright, warm fire you brought into their sad life. They are praying because late in the dark, when the loud world sleeps and the busy noise stops, your sweet name is the only thing that floats up from their sea of tears, like a sad cry for help they just cannot unsee. And listen, this is not just one lonely soul. This is many different people in many different towns at many different times, all doing the exact same crying, all waking up to the same hard truth, that letting you walk away, forcing you out, looking down on you, or playing dumb games with your heart was the biggest, saddest mistake of their whole entire lives. Let us dive even deeper, because we are just at the start. Your name is glowing in group texts you are not even in. Huge, long chats where fake friends who swear they forgot you just cannot stop typing about you. Did you look? What do you feel? Do you recall when I really want to know if hundreds of fast texts, thousands of little typed words, all spinning wildly around the heavy, bright light of your beautiful life? You are the loud ghost in their quiet talks, the huge shadow on their bright screens, the wild vibe they cannot wash off no matter how many lies they tell themselves about moving forward. They watch your steps without saying they watch you. They see your shine without saying they see it. They feel deep care without saying they care at all. And it makes them go totally crazy inside because you are not putting on a show for them anymore. You are not feeding them the drama they are starving for. You are not acting out the weak role they made up for you in their mean heads. You just went totally quiet, and that pure quiet screams way louder than any angry word you could have ever yelled. You being gone takes up more space than you being there ever did. You became the biggest star of the show just by walking right out the door and leaving their sad stage behind. And that huge shock nobody expected is now the one shock everyone is still crying over, picking apart, and trying so hard to understand without feeling like the bad guy in their own sad minds. And it gets even more crazy because your name is also popping up in big work talks, in brand new team meetings where a guy is trying to share an idea and says, "It is just like what happened with," and your hard pain becomes their simple guide. You are the bright picture. You are the real flesh and blood proof that makes hard ideas very easy to see. Somebody out there is making a whole big slideshow about the wise things they learned from watching how you smiled through deep stress, how you kept your pure heart, how you said no to selling your soul, even when selling out would have been much easier, made more money, and made everyone else clap for you. You became a golden rule. You became a whole way of living. You became solid proof that good, pure hearts are not just fairy tales. They are real. They keep you alive. They can be reached, even when the whole cruel world is built to force you to throw your good heart in the trash. Young school kids are learning about you without having a clue who you are. Life guides are sharing your dark pain without giving you the real credit. Loud men on big stages are copying your brave steps without ever saying your beautiful name out loud. You became the absolute best proof of pure human strength, the smart power of staying quiet, and the magic of keeping a soft smile while awful people try to break your mind for days and days. They stole your bright spirit and turned it into schoolbooks. They watched your brave steps and turned them into strict rules. They watched you stay alive and turned your bloody survival into a simple lesson plan they can sell. Now, let us look at the loud places with people, because wow, those are wild, small talks in warm cafes, where fake friends are picking your life apart like they are solving a dark crime. I really feel they did that because, no, I was told they actually. But think about it this way. They are making up wild guesses about you, acting like you are some kind of rare magic trick that they just have to figure out right away. They are linking things that are not even there, seeing signs in pure empty air, giving deep reasons to things you did for no reason, and completely going blind to the real hurt behind the things you did on purpose. They are writing a fairy tale about you while you are just trying to breathe and live. They are building a huge myth while you are just sitting there being you. And the crazy part is, the real you, the true beating heart, the living, breathing soul with deep scars and scary nights and times of complete shaking fear, that real you is so much more deep and beautiful than the fake doll they made up in their heads. But they do not know that at all. They cannot ever know that because they only have tiny pieces of your puzzle, filling the empty spots with their own lies, building a fake you that screams out their own flaws rather than telling a single truth about you. You are the shiny mirror they stare right into, while they foolishly think they are looking out a clear window. You are the bright glass that shows their very own deep fears, dirty wants, crying regrets, and broken promises. Every single talk they have about you is really just a sad talk about their own selves, and they are too blind to see it. And then come the dark night thoughts, the late 3 a.m. crying fits, where someone is laying flat in bed, looking at the dark roof, and your sweet name slams into their sad mind like a heavy truck they never saw coming. They are playing back old talks from years in the past, picking apart old choices with sad new eyes, and finally seeing the painful truths they were totally blind to back then. They are having huge, angry fights with you in their sick heads, deep talks that never took place and never ever will. Fake daydreams where they scream what they wish they had screamed, where they do the nice things they failed to do, where by some magic the end changes and the sad book gets a happy close. But the end is already done, the book is slammed shut, and they are trapped in the final page, tortured by a goodbye they cannot fix. No matter how many times they practice a new lie in the sad stage of their broken hearts. You are the lovely ghost that haunts them in their weakest night hours, not because you give them a single thought, but because their minds are chained to you. Not because you need a sorry, but because they never got peace. Not because your hands reach to the past, but because their hands never let you walk away. You live inside the texts they are too scared to send, the long notes they type and erase, the pictures of you they look at and hide, the names they look up and quickly wipe away. You are all over their lonely phones, even though you are a million miles from their real boring life. And that huge gap, that feeling that they can never touch you again, that cold, hard truth that you flew away from their sad world forever. It hurts them way worse than any mean trick you could have ever planned to hurt them back. Let us look at the work world one more time, because this is where it gets so sweet and good. Your name is right there on job scorecards. Not yours, but other people's cards. Somebody out there is being judged for a raise, and your name is used as the top gold star. They fixed it just like, or not like when we pushed. You became the golden ruler they use to measure everyone else. You became the high mark that every other big mess is compared to. Bosses are using your hard pain to show others how to fight back with pure class. Groups point to you to show how to keep a clean, nice face when bad people are throwing pure hate at you. Huge groups are looking at the mess they made when they hurt you and waking up to the truth that they learned way more from your heart than they ever taught your brain. You were meant to be the small pupil, the weak worker, the quiet one writing things down. Instead, you became the wise master, the top boss, the bright star that everyone is still reading about all these years later. And this makes some mean folks completely lose their minds because their silly plan was supposed to go a whole different way. You were meant to cry and break. You were meant to snap in two. You were meant to prove they were so smart by falling apart under the huge weight they put on your back. But instead, you grew wings. You leveled up. You walked out so much tougher, so much brighter, so much more pure. You took their sick game and made it your proud song. You took their dirty dirt and used it to shine like a diamond. You took the fire they lit to burn you alive and used it to prove you cannot be killed. And now they can never close their eyes to it. They can never wash the feeling away. They cannot wipe their brains of what they learned by watching you say no to being the sad loser they prayed you would be. But here is where it messes with their heads the most. Your name lives deep in people's worst fears, in their scary, what if I turn into them, panics, in their deep, sad, what if they saw the ugly truth about me, worries, and their jumpy, what if I am the evil bad guy in this tale, nightmares. You stand for a thing that scares them half to death, the chance that they were totally wrong, the hard truth that bad actions bring bad pain, the clear glass that shows their ugly choices without the nice lies they tell themselves to feel good. They look at what went down with you and shake, wondering if they are next to fall. They see how beautifully you healed and cry, wondering if they could ever be that strong. They feel your calm joy and it ruins their messy lives, because calm joy should be dead after the hell they put you through. But still, there it is, glowing out of your soul like pure magic they just cannot understand. You became the living proof that their cruel games fail. You became the one little fact that completely smashes their fake world. You became the single wild star that proves their sky is a lie. And in a sad place where lost people beg for their tiny rules to make them feel safe, you are the beautiful storm they cannot box up, the wild wind they cannot tie down, the bright end they cannot guess. So they just keep gossiping about you, picking your mind apart, pointing right at you. Because if they can finally solve your puzzle, maybe they can learn to save their own skin from becoming the next sad joke. And in art rooms, you are simply everywhere. Story makers are drawing heroes that look just like you. Painters are making art born from the brave way you danced through pure hell. Singers are writing sad, sweet songs that catch the exact feeling you gave off when you left the poison behind. Head held up to the sky, your soul totally whole. You live in sweet poems you will never ever read, in hit songs your ears will never catch, in bright paintings your eyes will never meet. You became the spark of art without ever saying yes to the job. Your grand tale is being sung in 1,000 strange ways by 1,000 strange mouths, every single one pasting their own deep hurt, their own wild spin, their own meaning onto your back. Some will paint you as the hero. Some will paint you as a dark secret. Some will make you a hard warning. Some will crown you a king or queen, and you have zero say over any of these tall tales. But listen, that is the best part. You do not need to rule them at all, because they are not truly about your real life anymore. They are all about the deep feelings you stirred up in every soul who bumped into you. They are about the huge room you took up in someone's tiny brain when they tried to learn life. They are about the deep crack you smashed in someone's fake world that let the warm sun shine in. You were the magic push for huge life changes you will never see, the tiny match for bright light bulb moments you will never hear about. the pure root of growth you will never ever get a simple thank you for. And my friend, that is true power. That is deep magic. That is your grand mark being made right this second, while you are just breathing, walking blind to the giant waves rolling out from the heavy rock you dropped, just by being your true raw self. Now, let us talk about the ugly green monster of jealousy, because your name is absolutely being spit out with a bitter taste that feels like clapping but stinks like pure hate. People are putting their lives next to yours and feeling like tiny bugs in games they swore they were the masters of. They are staring at your climb and crunching numbers in their heads that just do not make sense the way they want them to. How on earth are they winning when they are supposed to be dying? The painful shock in their brains is chewing them up from the inside out. They built a trap where you were supposed to fall down, and you never fell. They set up a room where your heart was supposed to snap, and you never snapped. They made a dark hell where you were supposed to cry and quit, and you never ever quit. Every single morning you wake up, and win is another morning their sick lies are proven wrong. Every new gold star you grab is another giant hammer, smashing their fake rules about who gets to be happy. Every quiet second of your deep joy is a slap in the face to their mean story about how folks like you are supposed to bleed, and they just cannot take the pain. They physically cannot swallow the hard truth that you refuse to act out the sad, pathetic script they dreamed up for you in their mean minds. So they run their mouths about you, begging to find the secret code, the hidden door, the magic trick, the lucky break. Any wild excuse that tells them why you are flying high when, by their sad math, you should be crawling in the dirt. They pray you just got lucky so they do not have to confess you are incredibly smart. They pray you had an easy ride so they do not have to admit you are strong as steel. They pray you are breaking the law so they do not have to look in the mirror and see that you just played the hard game far better than they ever could, all while playing fair when they constantly cheated. Let us jump right back to the doctor's couch, because there is a very special kind of talk happening there that is funny and deeply sad at the same time. Somebody is paying a doctor right now just to stop crying over you, not to fix a pain you both shared, not to heal from bad luck you both fought. No, they are paying for help because you, just you, shattered their soul when you walked out, when you won big, when you packed up, when you shut the door on their crazy, toxic mess. The nice doctor is trying very softly and safely to help this crying person see that their bleeding heart is not really about you at all. It is all about their own empty chest, about their scary panic of being left all alone, about their sick need to trap people, about their blind eyes that cannot see that other humans are free birds who do not live just to act in their selfish little plays. But the sick patient just keeps crying your name, but they did not have to leave, but they could have stayed. But I was so hungry for them. And the doctor keeps writing, seeing the sick loop, spotting the very clear crazy signs, watching the loud blame game, and knowing deep in their mind that the sad person crying on the couch is not truly missing you. They are just crying for the old mask they used to wear when you were stuck there cleaning up their gross mess, standing there as their human punching bag, forced to clap as the extra in their bad movie. You were a tool. You were a toy. And when you put down the tool, when you bravely screamed no more to being their toy, their whole fake little universe burned right to the ground. Thank you so much for watching this to the very end and for sharing this space with me today. If this message hit your heart or if you felt this deep in your chest, please let me know down in the comments. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, for being incredibly strong, and for having the courage to just be you.